Yes, peeps. What's happening? Hope everyone's well. Welcome back to another episode of the Finished Article. And today we're covering all things Sky Blues. I've got my boy Richard Home back on, and we're covering another episode, seeing as you guys enjoyed the first one. How you doing, Rich? Hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. A bit worried after the Rotherham result last night.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I didn't realize that TPI would play the second team, but let's see. I mean, the big one's tomorrow. But guys,
yeah. Well,
so
yeah.
what we're going to be doing today, is looking at the relegation rivals running, and then we're also going to be showing the fixtures and predictions, and then we'll give our thoughts on Rotherham versus Coventry, thoughts and predictions. But without further ado, Rich, I'm gonna let you take it away, and then let me know what you want me to do. Go for it, buddy.
Right, excuse me. Right. Well, what do you want to talk about? Should we go through all the teams, or?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let me just share the screen, and I'll bring that up whilst I get you to talk through it. So I'll share the championship table, and then you can let me know how you want to run it, mate. Give me a sec. Here we go. Right, mate. So if I bring up the table, let me know if you need me to zoom in, guys. And guys, before we kick off, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below. As always, your thoughts and feedback are greatly appreciated. So, Rich, this is the championship table. Where do you want to kick us up from, mate?
Well, I think most people we're all in agreement that most people are in agreement that the targets to stay up is usually 50 points. Could be less than that. Could be more. Could be less this year, but we'll go with the 50 points as the target. Wycombe, you see them at the bottom. The maximum they can now get is 48 points, which may be enough to keep them up. But have to say for them, they did have a mini revival. They went on a bit of a run a few games ago, but that's ended now.
Yeah,
and the maximum, even if they won every game, they're not going to win every game. So I think we can pretty much say that it's over for them. I mean, we talk about what a tough job Mark Robins has had with his budget. Gareth Ainsworth, it's even tougher for him. Like, lowest budget in the league, Wycombe, probably by quite a long way, I would guess. He's done a tremendous job.
You know, one thing I have to say, and I'm glad you brought that up. I have to say the job that Mark Robins is doing, considering we have one of the lowest budgets in the championship, has been remarkable. Yes, could our season go better? Could we have better results against some of the teams? Absolutely. But you know what? I say that we've got a League One team competing at the championship, minus Gustavo Hamer. And that's just my opinion, but just thought I'd bring it up there.
Yeah, well, you actually asked me the other day what I felt about the people calling for Robins to go, and I watched the video back and I was a little bit disappointed with myself for how I answered the question, because even though I stand by what I said, I think I put more emphasis on showing empathy towards our supporters rather than I should have put a much more passionate defence of Mark Robins up, I felt, because
you know what? Before we carry on,
Rich,
we've got a question from one of our viewers. So he goes, "Do you reckon Coventry City will get relegated? What are your thoughts on that, mate?"
Well, we're going to talk about the remaining fixtures and what we need to do as the video goes on. But if you want a straight yes or no answer from me now, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, nice one. Thanks for your question, guys. As always, much appreciated. Carry on, Rich. Go for it.
Yeah. I should have put up a more passionate defence of Mark Robins, when you asked me that question. To be honest, because he's the best manager we've had in over 30 years. For what he's done for us, Checkatrade Trophy win, promotion back to League One, promotion to the Championship. We're above the bottom three, so we're putting up a fight to stay up. The talk of him being sacked, I have to say, and I stand by what I said. I've got sympathy. I have got some empathy towards our supporters that are nervous about the position we're in, but talk of him getting the sack, no, it's ridiculous, I'm afraid.
No, I have to completely agree
Yeah.
with you. From my perspective, I think Coventry City have got one of the best managers they've had in a long time. Yes, you know what? He struggled. He's made some tactical decisions, but what you got to understand is the guy's been in the job a long time, so he knows what he's doing. And I think we just got to back that he'll get the best out of the players. For me, I'm glad that Tyler Walker and Godden played up front in the last match. I thought they were a great combination and got the best. Let's be honest, Bournemouth game. It was a free hit. I wasn't really expecting us to get much of a win there, but you know what? We played well in the first couple of minutes. But let's be honest, they're a Premiership team, and they showed their quality. They are actually one of the contenders to go up. So the fact that we've been competing, and if you look at it, we've drawn with Norwich as well this season. So it shows that we can compete. But obviously, budgets and squad strength and depth are one of the questions. Anyway, Rich, take it away.
Right. So I'll move back to Wycombe. I think I've said all I need to say about them. To be fair, I don't think. Oh, right. I don't think they're getting out of this. Sheffield Wednesday, start of the season, when I was looking at teams we could finish above, I said we'd finish above Wycombe. Sheffield Wednesday had actually had a 12-point deduction at the beginning of the season. They've had it reduced to 6, but I still don't think they're getting out of it now. I think they lost last night, and I think they're gone, to be fair. They did look dead and buried a few weeks ago. They had that shock 5-0 win against Cardiff, but I just think it's too little too late. I think that's just a one-off result. And to be honest, when we played Sheffield Wednesday, I watched that game. I don't think they looked a great team. I think they're one of the worst teams we're playing. Going by that one game that I saw us play against them,
Yeah,
I think they're one of the worst teams we've played so far this season. And I mean, they're a massive club. They've got they've got a good fan base, and whenever you go to England games, you get a good Sheffield Wednesday contingent. Obviously, our two clubs share a legend in Roland Nielsen, but
indeed.
this season I can't see them getting out of it. So, sorry, Sheffield Wednesday fans. So then we come to Rotherham.
Do you want me to go through the fixture list, or are we leaving that for a separate area?
Well, like I say, with Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe, I think I've said all needs to be said about them.
You know what? I have to jump in there. So the game we had against Wycombe when we drew 0-0 with them at home, I thought that was a missed result. I thought that was one game we should have won, and we did have chances to win, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite Coventry City in the ass. But moving on, Rich, go for it.
So we come to Rotherham now. Now we really start talking about the battle. Because Rotherham is still in their hands. They've got 2 games in hand of us.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 3 games in hand of all the teams just above us. And after their win last night, they'll be up against it tomorrow, because 2 games in the space of 3 days, and hopefully that will go against them. But if they beat us tomorrow while they're out the bottom 3, and they'll be feeling confident that they could get out of it. Rotherham, what is it to say? They came up with us last season, and excuse me. Yeah, I'm just looking at the games in hand they've got and who they've got to play against.
Let me bring it up for you, mate. Let me bring up their game.
I was just actually looking at their remaining fixtures, because we know they've got us tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just bringing the fixtures. So
they play Birmingham City on Sunday.
Yeah,
2 massive games for them, 2 cup finals for them. I think if they lose to us and then lose to Birmingham, then it won't be looking good for them.
Yeah, but that's true.
If they get something out of them 2 games, I think they'll be still well and truly in the battle. Who else they got? They got Middlesbrough. I'm just looking at your screen now, and then they'll be away at Barnsley.
And then they got
Brentford. Away at Brentford last game of the season. But yeah, Rotherham United, it's still in their hands, but obviously there's lots of games in a short space of time.
If you look at the fixtures they've got in May, so they've got Blackburn at home, they've got Luton away, and they've got Cardiff last game of the city away. So it will be an interesting run in for Rotherham United.
I'm hoping it works against them, having so many games
Well, yeah,
together.
absolutely.
So I come to us next. I've already talked about Sheffield Wednesday. I come to us next. Now I stand by what I said the other day about. I think I said one more win, beat Rotherham, and one more win will do it for us.
So we've got Rotherham tonight. Tomorrow, apologies. You've then got Barnsley on Sunday at home, Stoke City on the Wednesday 21st away, and then you've got Preston last game of April. Moving on to May, you've then got Huddersfield away, and then Coventry finish at home to Millwall.
I mean, that Huddersfield away could be an interesting one because they're down there with us, and obviously a lot could happen between now and then, but it could come down to both teams needing a point to secure safety. And that would be a brilliant, from our perspective, that would be a brilliant scenario to be in. If we can both go there, we need a point, they need a point.
Absolutely.
But like I say, there's a lot of football to be played before that point.
I have to say, out of the two, I say Rotherham do have the difficult running because they do face Brentford and they're not the easiest side to play. I know we beat them, but it's just one of those things that I think we'll take into that. I'm just going to bring up a question from one of the viewers here, and I know you touched upon it, but I thought I'd just bring it up. Realistically, how many points you reckon it'll take to be safe from relegation? I know, Rich, you mentioned the magical 50 number. Do you reckon 50 is the exact number, or would you say slightly?
It could be slightly. Well, I'm going with. I personally think if we beat Rotherham tomorrow, we'll need one more win after that. So that would put us on to 48. Possibly another draw or.
Fair enough. And what's the last comment you got? Let's go Rovers. Okay, so he's a Blackburn Rovers fan. So yes, we're looking for you to do us a favor against Rotherham and whoop their ass. So if you're watching, we're asking for a favor, mate.
Obviously, Blackburn are on, is it 47 points or what table there? They're on 47. So if we're going with 50 being the magic number, they would need another win from the last 5 matches. Which they're more than good enough to get. Obviously, they've got Tony Mowbray in charge up there, and they've got Adam Armstrong banging the goals in. But so you'd expect them to get another win from their last 5 games. However, I suppose we have to talk about them because it's easy to sit here and say with 5 games left, you expect them to win one. If they go and lose the next 2, then it's all of a sudden needing a win from the last 3 games. And
do you want me to bring up their fixtures, mate? Blackburn.
Yeah, can do.
No worries. Give me a sec. Apologies, we skipped over it. So moving on.
One more win will definitely do it for them, but especially with who they got to play against.
They've got Derby on Friday, 16th of April. They've got Sheffield Wednesday on the 20th, and then they've got Huddersfield Town. You know what? Blackburn Rovers.
That's interesting. That's the first time I've seen Blackburn's fixtures in front of me.
Yeah, and they're teams that around us.
Like as I say, one more win will do it for them. Will keep them up. I've not really looked at them as being in the battle, but yeah, if them results were to go against them, then yeah, they are in.
You know, they've got Rotherham and they've got Birmingham.
Blimey, they say they've got 5 games left against teams fighting for their lives. So
that's what I mean, so Blackburn Rovers, you can do us a favour and pick up all those wins and do Coventry City a massive favour back.
They won't be too worried right now, but they will. Like I say, looking at the main fixtures, they will need that one win. I'm sure they'll get it. I'm absolutely sure they'll get it, but
no, indeed, it'll be an interesting run-in. It will be.
Interesting. I mean, we can mention Preston and Forest as well. I mean, but they're hardly worth mentioning. They've probably already got enough points to keep them safe. But
I think Forest is safe. I mean, they did have that terrible start to the season, but I think under who's their manager? I believe can't remember who is their manager, but they've turned a corner. And for me, I reckon that Nottingham Forest bring up their fixtures. In fact, they're also playing teams in and around us as well.
Yeah.
So Nottingham Forest.
They might not even need any more points, but and I'm sure they're not going to lose the last 5 games. I'm sure they're going to get something somewhere. So, but same with Blackburn. I can sit here now with 5 games to go. If in 2 games' time they haven't picked up a point, talking about the prospect of them not getting any points in the last 3 games.
Well, yeah,
it becomes a realistic prospect if they don't get them points in the next couple of games. If you know.
Absolutely, no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Them 3 teams we've just mentioned probably hardly worth mentioning because I don't think either of them will go down. But
no, that's fine. That's fine. Who we covering next, mate? Who we covering next?
Who we spoke about? So we spoke about ourselves and Rotherham. Derby County.
Let's go into Derby. Let's see what Derby have got. So Derby are Blackburn Rovers this Friday, 16th.
Yeah.
They've got Preston then.
They had a poor start to the season.
They did.
Then obviously Rooney came along. And I think he had a bit of a honeymoon period because their form did pick up when he took charge. And then the results seem to have dipped again. Yep. They've currently played 1 game more than us. And they're 1 point clear of us. So if we win tomorrow, we leapfrog them.
Yeah.
In fact, we actually go up from 21st to 18th with a win tomorrow.
Correct. Yep.
That's a positive. We're talking about how damaging the defeat could be, but if we win, but yeah, come back to Derby. They've got they've played 3 more than Rotherham. No, sorry, they've played 2. Yeah, they've got 2 games.
1 second, I'll bring it up for you, buddy. I'll bring it up for you. So Rotherham are on 41 games. Coventry City are on 40. It's a Rotherham that have played 3 less than everyone else.
Yeah, well, Rotherham have played 2 less than us now, and I think they've played 3 less than Derby.
Yeah.
So yeah, Derby need to be. Let's say they haven't. What's the last few games? Yeah, they haven't won in. Well, they drew and lost the last 2.
Yeah, I'll bring up the fixtures, mate. Give me a sec.
1 win in 5.
So Derby's last 2 games are against Swansea City away, and then they're also playing Sheffield Wednesday
of the season.
Sheffield Wednesday at home. So that's going to be crazy. Yeah.
They're on 1 point more than it. I mean, what? Now need another. How many points are they on?
They're on 43 right now.
I think by the time they play Sheffield Wednesday, I think Sheffield Wednesday will be gone. So it won't be as.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think Wickham and Sheffield Wednesday, they're going to struggle, and I don't think they're in it. Rotherham are the serious contenders. And I think Huddersfield Town, I think we should cover them next.
Yeah, so. Well, we'll come to Huddersfield, but I'll put it straight out there. I think Wickham and Sheffield Wednesday are gone, in my opinion. Blackburn, Forest, and Preston. I know we've talked about them, but I can't see them going down. So I think it's out of 5 of us who's going to take that last spot.
Yeah,
and obviously we spoke about Huddersfield, Derby. Sorry, we spoke about Derby and Rotherham and ourselves. Huddersfield. Now they're the most out of form team in the division right now, I believe. They haven't won in. I don't know when they last won one. I know they drew their big game with Rotherham at the weekend.
So Huddersfield Town are actually in the last 5 games drawn 3 and lost 2.
Yeah.
They're on a bad run of form. Looking at their fixtures, just going into it,
they lost 7-0 to Norwich.
Yeah, they did.
That's
actually that did help Coventry City because it brought the goal difference down massively, which is a bonus. So Huddersfield Town have Nottingham Forest away this Saturday. They've got Barnsley at home in the midweekend next week, and they've got Blackburn Rovers on 24th of April. They're moving on into May. They play Coventry City 1st of May.
And wouldn't it be great, as I've addressed already, wouldn't it be great if we go into that game with a draw suiting both teams?
Okay.
That would be ideal.
And then Reading last game of the season, so they do have a tough end to the season as well.
Birmingham City.
Birmingham City. What do we say about that?
I think their fans will feel they've got too much to go down. I feel they've got enough to keep them up. But
do you reckon, as Coventry City fans, you could say that you want Birmingham City to do us a favour and beat Rotherham, because we really need to win tomorrow and then hope that Birmingham can pull off a result?
I think the good thing, if we can win tomorrow, I think we can sit and watch that Birmingham-Rotherham result come through on Sunday. That's lunchtime before our game with Barnsley, and we'll be able to sit and watch it, relax, knowing that either result could be interpreted as a decent score for us.
Absolutely.
If the Rotherham game goes against us tomorrow, then I think we're probably going to be wanting Birmingham to do us a favour Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't disagree. I mean, I'm looking at who they've got. They've got Cardiff City on 1st of May, and then they've got Blackburn Rovers. But really, I think Rotherham are the key team that everyone needs to focus on, unless everyone else goes on a bad game. But it's kind of difficult at the moment to see that happening.
Yeah. I'd say Birmingham's form has picked up since Lee Bowyer took charge.
Yeah.
It's tightened up a bit now. Hopefully, it may just be a honeymoon period. But
by the way, guys, just because Lee Bowyer's done well doesn't mean that Coventry City need to change their manager.
Exactly.
Karanka, he was on a bad form, and I think he was just making excuses. The players just stopped playing for him. I've got a comment here I want to bring up. Loving the video. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate the support. As always, leave a like and subscribe below. And please keep following us. Your support means the world, and we'll be covering more content going forward. But anyway, Rich, I'll let you carry on.
I'll say about Birmingham and Coventry is the two more evenly matched teams in the division.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 3 points behind them, but we've got a game in hand. The goal differences are very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Both games where we played each other have been draws.
Yeah.
So is there two more evenly matched teams?
I think they're both evenly matched for me, in my opinion.
And here's an interesting question: what could you see how close the goal difference is between the two sides? Here's a scenario for you. It could come to a point where it's literally
Coventry
could be the difference between us.
Coventry -20 and Birmingham City -19.
Yeah. So we win tomorrow, we'll be we win by 1, we'll be at least level with them on goal difference, and we've got the better goals for.
Yeah.
Not many teams have scored more than this season, but they're one. But it would be, I'm sure it won't happen, but it would be an interesting scenario if both teams finish level on everything: points, goal difference, goals for, goals against.
It will be. I think from my perspective,
if you were to be head to head, or
no, you know what? I think you've just hit the nail on the head. So everything you've covered in terms of the fixtures, the lineups, and all of the run-ups we've gotten, I think you're right. It will be close. Now, I think I have enough confidence in the fact that Coventry will stay up because they're good enough to. I mean, we've had some awesome results this season. Brentford at home, QPR at home, and we've also won away at Millwall. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rich.
Yeah, Millwall.
Wickham away. So we're good enough to be in this division. But yes, lack of goals is concerning. But like I said at the start, when you go in with a League One side that's just been promoted, and you don't invest, so CC we need to look at that in the summer and see how they want to do that. And I think the big incentive should be for staying up is that Coventry City are going back to the Rico next season. So I think they've sold out pretty much most of the championship season tickets, which is fantastic, and hoping the fans can be there. Obviously, depending on this pandemic and stuff, but no, absolutely fantastic news, mate. I think so.
Yeah.
But I think, guys, what we want to touch upon now is, now that we've gone through the run-up, I want to just bring up another topic, and I want to get Rich's thoughts on that. So, as he's already mentioned, we've got the big game tomorrow, Rotherham vs Coventry. What are your thoughts, mate?
Well, I don't even think a draw would be a good result for us. I think after Rotherham's result last night, because obviously it is our game in hand. We talk about Rotherham's game in hand, 2 games in hand, or 3 games in hand of most teams. This is our game in hand of the teams above us. So a win would leapfrog us from 21st to 18th.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. A draw would actually put us... Well, we'd only be 3 points clear, and Rotherham would have 2 games in hand of us, and we will have played our game in hand of the teams above us, so we won't have that in our favour
No, but
anymore.
I think you've got to realize that Rotherham's games in hands are only down to the fact that because of COVID, they weren't able to play. So it's pretty much an easy bit. And I think this tough fixture is running now. I was reading and checking out fans' reactions yesterday when they beat Keeper. Yes, it was disappointing. I'd say that. But as always, you've got to rely on yourself. We're good enough to be there. I think we can go out there and be attacking and get a result because they'll be tired from yesterday's game. They've had less than 48 hours, if I'm not wrong.
Physically, they'll be tired, but they'll be full of adrenaline.
Oh, they'll be full of adrenaline, but whether that carries them through.
Professional players, it's so.
No, that is true. That is true.
We can't take anything for granted. Like anything in our favour, we'll take. But yeah, obviously we lose tomorrow. We're actually in the bottom three. The team directly above us will have 2 games in hand of us still. It is actually something I don't want to think about.
No, I think we need to stay positive. I think, as always, it's in our hands. We can control it and see how it goes. But Richard, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you very much. And guys, thank you very much for tuning to another episode of All Things Sky Blues. We will be back with more content.
What I'll say before we go is, any Coventry fans watching, I mean, I've talked about how important tomorrow is. I'm about to almost contradict myself here, but I will say, don't panic. Whatever happens tomorrow, don't get carried away if we win. Don't panic if we lose, because there's still another 5 games left, and there's going to be a lot of twists and turns.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
I'm still convinced we'll stay up. Last game of the season with a last-minute goal going in off someone's backside.
Absolutely, mate. And you know what? I'm gonna give a prediction for tomorrow's game, and I'm gonna go out and say Coventry are gonna nick this 2-1 with Godden and Hamer with the goals. So come on, boys, let's make it happen. And as always, guys, anyone that's watching, we really appreciate your support. If there's anything that you'd like us to cover going forward, please do let us know. Rich, it'd be great to have you on another podcast going forward to talk all things Sky Blues. And until next time, take it easy and stay safe.
Okay, play up Sky Blues.